What's going on? Ryan Troy back with another video for you today, and in this video we will be talking about the TTArtisan 75mm 2.0. and yes, you did hear that correctly. Now let's throw the disclaimers out there right now before we start. Yes, they sent me this lens for my honest review, and that is what they are going to get and you are going to get. No money exchange hands, and they are not seeing this video before I put it out. Now, with that being said, let's get into the review. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Soon as I got this lens, I was skeptical about it. I only own one third-party lens. All of the rest of my lenses come from the manufacturer of my camera. So I am already like on edge when it comes to third-party lenses. I just feel like they are not good, and not even really from experience. It's just, I always look at the cost and I'm like, how can they afford to have a lens like this at this price when I know what the brand of my camera is producing and the price that they're charging for it? So I was skeptical at first. If you are familiar with my channel, you would know that I am a portrait and beauty photographer. So those are the ways that I planned on testing this lens out. Now in the studio, this lens did extremely well, and I really wanted to push this to the test. You know, in the studio, I really shoot around f8 and stuff like that, but for f2.0, I wanted to know what the bokeh will look like. So I started shooting random things around the studio that I had laying around, and it really blew me away at f2.0. Now, my favorite lens that I use is the 85, and the one I use is the 1.8. I don't have the 1.2 that my camera brand offers. I use the 1.8, and that is like one of my favorite lenses. The bokeh that it produces is amazing. But here's the thing: when I'm outside and I'm, you know, taking photos of stuff, sometimes I'm a little bit too far. Even when I'm in the studio and I may be doing like a headshot, I may not have the room because my studio is a little bit on the small side, but I may not have the room to back up the way I would want to frame the shot the right way. And a 50 that I have is just, it's too far back. I guess what I say, it's too far back. All right. But never did I know that the 75 will be the answer to that solution. And with the bokeh that it produces at f2.0, I'm blown away. Now, I don't own any 1.2 or 1.4 lenses. I only own my 1.8s, and they are, like, to me, they do amazing. Nikon did a really good job on their 1.8 lenses, but this f2.0, that 75mm, can compete, or is on par. Let's just say is on par. I don't want to say compete, because I do still feel like this lens is, it has a place for it, and for the price, you just can't beat it. We're gonna get to the price a little bit later, but let's get into some more things. Now, when it comes to the construction of this lens, it is full metal. Okay, there's an aperture ring on it that you can adjust, or you can set it to A, where to be on auto, and then adjust the aperture on your camera. Now, as far as the weakest part of this lens, and I mean, if you want to, I don't know, fault them for it, then sure, it's definitely the lens cap. The lens cap is annoying, to say the least. Like, if you don't line it up properly, you're not getting it on. But I mean, just flip it to the back, keep it on your lens, and don't fiddle with it. But if you do, just be careful and watch the way that you put it on. But other than that, that's probably, like I said, that's probably the weakest part of this lens. Now, does it have chromatic aberration? Yes, but surprisingly, is not bad at all. And if you have any photo editing apps, don't even worry about it. The corrections that it's going to do, you won't even be able to tell. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm always scared to go with third-party lenses, is because of chromatic aberration, and it handles it really good. Like, I really don't understand how they got this lens to be so cheap with it being such a great lens, right? Once again, we're gonna get into price a little bit later, but let's get into the next thing, and that would be sharpness. Now, at f2.0, is it sharp? Yes, it is sharp, but it's sharp in the middle, right? On the edges, you get that softness, but you know, we are familiar with that when it comes to other lenses. F5.6 to f8, sharp so sharp. It's sharp. It's extremely sharp. And for a portrait photographer and a photographer that spends a lot of time in the studio, for me, I absolutely love that, especially when we're doing close-up shots, when I'm getting like all of the detail that I want to get. It does amazing when it comes to that. So if you are shooting this at f2.0, I mean, most likely you're not in the studio. Most likely you might be outside, and you don't have to worry about your subject eyes being in the corner of, you know, the lens where it gets soft. So you're still going to get that sharp image in the middle, and where the bokeh starts to fall off around the edges is where it'll be sharp. I mean, where it'll be soft. So that's not really a big issue when it comes to that. So with that being said, let's go ahead on and get into price. Now, this lens falls under, are you ready for this? $200 USD, which is American dollars. Let me double check that, because even saying that doesn't even feel realistic. Let me just double check.
Yep, I'm correct. All right, cool. Let's go back.
It's $178 USD. So yes, it is under $200. So who do I think this lens is for? And me having a YouTube channel, I'm just gonna be honest with you. There are a lot of people that watch me that are new to photography and that don't have the budget that, let's say, I have, right? I've been doing photography for a long time. I have bought lenses, you know, throughout the time that I've been doing it. I bought lenses. So if you just want to start and like you don't have the money to go out and buy any expensive lenses, this right here can be your 85mm replacement. This lens, trust me on that. I'm pretty sure you might already have a nifty 50, but if you want to get that nice bokeh, that blurry background with portraits, whether you're doing outside headshots or anything like that, or just outside portraits in general, this is the lens for you. All of my budget photographers out there, under $200 for an amazing lens, this is the lens that you want. So that is my review on the 75mm 2.0 by TTArtisan. Thank you for sending this as well. And until the next time, peace.